Good morning. Let's get started. So now we're in Yeshaya. We're in the middle of the 5th parak. We're at the pasuk Yilches. Just a quick background. We're up to. So Yeshaya Navi said 15 hoys, and we said earlier it's the 20. He said 22 hoys, and that's connected the 22 times in Tehillim. It says Ashrei. Throughout Tehillim it says Ashrei 22 times, and that's connected these hoys. Now, what's a hoy? So we said that Rashi said it's a lashon of tzakas anocha al paranias asalava. In other words, it's talking about hoy is. I know, so that's why today I reiterated. I read the Rashi clearly. Rashi says here Eser v'shtayim Ashrei never b'sefer Tehillim am b'kayim haTorah am b'kimei Torah Eser v'shtayim hoy am Yeshaya v'sham. I think Rashi means that in Tehillim it says. Because what? Actually, there's 22 letters. Who says that? Also, there's not 22 aleph. I think it's what it means.
22 aleph bases.
I'm not sure.
Aleph base given the Ashrei.
Yeah, but it's not Ashrei. So, anyway, let's go start. So, anyways, weiter. So, anyway, so now in this parak we're gonna have six of the hoys. So let's go start. So now we're somewhere in the middle, and we're up to pasuk Yilches. Hoy moishchei ha'avain b'chavlei hashav. Woe are the people that they draw the avera b'chavlei shav with a very thin rope, and then with a thick rope they pull the wag. What does that mean? So it means like this: someone starts avera one time, so it's like a thin rope. It's a little bit, and then what happens? It keeps going. You can't not like a heter. That's what if you look at Mechar Gedaylov brings the Gedaylov brings down. Amazal when you mark that what kivach ava adam avera v'shanavai naslik heter. Zasha Amar. It's not that he does avera. It's literally kachavei shav. But once he keeps doing it, and then it becomes like a thick rope, right? That's really what the Gemara says. So, is that what you saying?
Everyone knows that as Ravunu's heter.
Okay, that's a heter. Very good. Now, the famous Gemara. So the Gemara says in Sukkah that the Yitzhahara b'chila dam l'chut shal b'chiyam. Beginning, it's like a web, and then b'soif dam k'avoisais. In the end, it's like a voisai like a thick rope. Again, if you keep on doing it, so then it becomes more powerful, right? Actually, the Gemara says over there. Just to remind myself, the Gemara says that they have Mashiach ben Yosef, Mashiach ben David. So Mashiach ben Yosef is going to die by Muhammad, and they make a big hesped on him. So the Gemara says over there that by the hesped that they're both going to cry. The tzaddik and the Rasha. The tzaddik is going to try. Whoa, how was it able to capture such a big mountain? And the Rasha is going to say, oh, it was so little. How was it not able to go over this little nothing? And right. So the idea is that in the beginning it's very very little, and then as it grows, it becomes this big deal. All right. So what Yeshaya is saying is, "Hey, Moshe, in other words, woe are these people that they create their own, they make their own problems. They could have just not done it, right? But now they keep on doing it. They create their own. It's like they make their own problems and they make it into a big deal. Okay, and these people, what do? They say, they tell Hashem, bring on the punishment. Hurry it, quickly. Bring on the punishment. In order that you bring it close. Bring on the punishment, bring it close. And that should take place, this punishment, that Hashem is going to make. In order that we should know that's true. These people are telling Hashem, punish us, show us that it's really real. So the big question is, what does it mean? How's you asking Hashem for punishment? Like, why are they doing that for? So Abheshi Tuman this morning told me a shot. These people, they knew Hashem loved them so much, they didn't believe it's possible that Hashem's going to punish them. How can it be? It can't be that Hashem to punish us. That's one way to learn. The other way to learn, I think, which reads more to the pasuk, is people are so delusional. Because the next pasuk is Nahai, how they're going to say Ra Toiv Toiv Ra. So these people were so in their heads, so like delusional, that they didn't believe like they're doing is even wrong. They thought they're doing right. So of course they say big punishment. Because punishment for what? We're Ma'amad Tzadikim there. These people thought that, we'll see as it goes on, these people thought they're doing right. Another pshat we can learn is we learned a few months ago that these people they asked Hashem for punishment, and really what happened was their plan was that somehow they'll be able to intervene in Shemayim, they'll be able to mazolas, they'll be able to change some sort of mazel, and when Hashem tries to punish them, they will stop it. But somehow they're able to do such a thing. So what Hashem do? Hashem switched the malachim. The malach of Eish, Hashem turned the malach of water, and Hashem switched all the malachim around. So these people were not able to intervene. Maybe that's another pshat. Either way, these people asked for punishment, which is very, very bizarre. Okay. And we'll see later on that the punishment is going to be that they're going to get punished very quick because of that. And that's when they'll see it soon. When Tzacheriv comes, he does very swiftly punishes them. And it'll all midah kedeg midah. But we'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, weiter. So now the next, hoi. Oimer l'ra, toiv, v'toiv ra. What are these people, they say bad is good and good is bad. They're all mixed up, right? And they say, some chayshech la'ar, v'ar chayshech. They say Hashem should make darkness light and light dark. And some mar matuk, matuk mar. And Hashem should make bitter sweet and sweet bitter. Meaning, to them, they're so confused that they're all mixed up. They think bad is good, meaning they're so deep in their shita that they got to the point, the corruption got to such a level. In the beginning, it started off, they overran their friends' fields. Okay, I guess they took shaychat. Now it got to the point that the line got so blurred that they don't know the chip between good and bad and good and sweet and bitter. It's all mixed up. Okay, now Rashi has a different shot. No, Rashi just says what each one's referring to. So Haimin Ratoy, Rashi says people that mekasel avodah zara. It means they say bad is good. What do? They praise avodah zara, the ultimate bad, and they say it's good. What does it mean? The toiv ra. So Rashi, ra beinehem lavi hakadosh baruch hu shu toiv. They say it's bad in the eyes. It's serve Hashem, which is the ultimate toiv. That's what it means. Ra toiv, the toiv ra, right? And some chayshech are. That means davishu asil lavi aleihem chayshech aymin sha'arlem. Meaning something that bad's to come with them, they say it's good, like I guess punishment. And what does it mean? Some in mar matuk. So Rashi says avay means averish who asil lavi aleihem pranis mar. They say that punishment that's to come, which is bitter, they say it's going to be sweet. Meaning they're all confused people. Okay? So that's the next. Now, next one. What were the wise people in their eyes? Meaning to them, they think they're epis, meaning that's even the next level. And then Pneim Devanim, they think that they view themselves as people that understand. Meaning, it started off that they're confused between, they overrun the next guy's field, and then they're drinking wine, and now they say Ra Toiv and Toiv Ra, and they want punishment. Now they're saying, I'm the Talmid Chacham. I'm the greatest Talmid Chacham. That's what the Radak says. Like the Radak, they consider themselves to be Chachamim and Nevainim, and now the Navi says the good. The Navi says, do good, and go back from Navera. Hey, Ireland, Loikain. They tell the Navi, no, what we're doing is right, and you're wrong. We're smarter than you. So maybe that's a shot that they're asking for punishment because they don't believe it's possible because they think they're doing right. They're so, meaning, if you want to do Avera, I hear, it's horrible. But when you think you're doing a mitzvah, it's even worse, right? So these people are so confused. It got so blurred the lines that they think they're actually doing good. Okay? Nan zog weiter in the Navi. Hoi gebayim lishtois yayin. What are these gebayim, the strong ones, that they drink wine? And Achichayel, which the Targum learns it means the rich people. That they mix with, they pour, the intoxicated drinks, meaning they become the bartender. The Achichayel. What does that mean? So the way there's two ways. So Rashi and the Radak. The Radak says Hoi gebayim lishtois yayin means. What were the Gebarim that drink wine? It means the Radak says the entire Gevura is the drinking. Kol Gevurasam he lishtes yayin. That all the Gevura is about how much wine they can drink. That's the Gevura. The Mitzuta says a different lashon. He says, what does it mean that the whole Gevura is the wine? He says a little different. He says, Mariam Gevura is lishtes yayin harbe. They show off their Gevura by drinking wine. It's a little different. It's not that their Gevura is the drinking. They show off the Gevura through the wine. Whatever it is. Either way, these people, they're obsessed with wine. And because of all the wine, what happens is, because they drink the wine, they corrupt their hearts, and they do is, Matzdike Rasha Ekev Shaykhan, they make the righteous people, this is where the Ibn Ezra ends up. He says the connection is that the wine is what causes the next pasuk, that Matzdike Rasha Ekev Shaykhan, that they make righteous the Rasha and behalf of the Shaykhan, often the wine, and then they remove the tzaddik from the tzaddik, because now, I guess a few ways, either because this corruption didn't, so now the tzaddik becomes, he's the one that becomes, he loses the judgment because of all the bribery. But again, it all starts on the wine, and it's all one thing. But the idea is that these people, they think they know more. They think they know more than the Navi, and they figure that it's important, and they justify taking advantage of the poor, and they don't know chibut ra and toiv. and then the wine. Basically, these people, the minds are completely confused, and to the point that they think that they know more than everyone else, right? And then Zakta Navi puts Chavdal Lechain. What's going to happen is Ka'echa Kash Lashin Eish. Hashem is gonna punish. What's the punishment? Ka'echa Kash. Just like Hashem is going to devour the straw with tongues of fire, and B'chashash Lahava, and through thin straw and flames. In other words, Hashem is going to destroy them with. They're going to be destroyed like the way you destroy straw with a fire. It's just the Lashon's interesting. It says Ka'echa Kash Lashin Eish. It sounds almost like the way Kash destroys fire. It sounds like. So with that, you can look at I know Kach means Lashon destroying, but the Lashon eating up. It devours it. But the Lashon, I just want to show you an interesting Lashon here. Where is it? I don't know where it is, but basically, where is it? 1 second. It brings down over here in the Radak. Is it possible that Kash eats straw? Because the Lashon sounds almost like you're supposed to read it. Obviously, that the fire destroys the straw, but it sounds almost like the Kash eats the Eish. So he brings down El Kash Ze Esav. Kash is for the Esav. Calls Matra PM Yisrael the day mitzvahs. The Kaisel is weak for mitzvahs. What happens? Sheol Yisrael Shehem Eish. In other words, the straw rules over the fire. That's what it means. When you do an Averis, the straw, and then Esav rules over Kaisel. And Esav is Kash because we see V'hayu Beis Yaakov Eish, Beis Esav Lahava, Beis Esav Eish. Anyways, check. Right. So now what's going to happen? The punishment is, what's going to happen is, the Hashem is going to destroy them by consuming the Kash, right? Like we just said. And then Yirpash Rasham Kamak Yeh. And then he's going to weaken the roots, which is the strong people, and they'll become like rat. Kamak Yeh, they'll become like rat. And that's the Giborim. And Pircham Ka'avak Yala. And then the flowers will like fly away like dust. What does that mean? So the way the Radak learns it up, it's a mashal that the Shrashim is the strong people, and they're gonna get rotten. That's the roots. And Percham is a mashal to the weak people, and he says because they're very light, they'll like dissipate in the wind. They'll go up. Why? Ki nimasu as Taris Hashem. Because these people, they disgusted the Taris Hashem. That's Imras Kadosh Yisrael Nietzu, and the word of Hashem they angered. So the Mirikra says, what is that referring to? He says, Ki nimasu as Taris Hashem is Taris Basaf, and Imras Kadosh Yisrael. That's referring to Taris Shabal Be Al Kain. What's going to happen? Hashem says, Al Kain Chara Af Hashem Amay. Hashem's wrath is gonna, his fury is gonna go on his nation, on Klal Yisrael. V'yid Yadei Alav Yakei. Hashem is gonna hit Klal Yisrael. He's gonna stretch out his hands and hit them. And what's gonna happen? V'yirgzu Ha'arim. He's gonna shake, or he's gonna tremble. The mountains are gonna tremble. V'tihin of Lasam Kesucha, and their corpses are gonna be like garbage. V'kerach chutzos on the streets. V'cholzos Leishav Apai Oy Yadei Netuya. And even with all this, Hashem is not gonna withdraw his anger, and his hand is still gonna be stretched out. What does that mean? He's going to continue destroying them. Why? Why is that? What's the reason for that? So the doctor brings down. Why? Since they didn't do tshuva, even with all this, Hashem is to keep on hitting them. Because until you do tshuva, Hashem is to keep on punishing. Right? And then what's going to happen? Hashem is going to raise a nace, like a lashon, a degel. He's going to raise a flag to the Goyim Merach from far. In other words, Hashem is going to put a big banner and say, Goyim, come to Eretz Yisrael, come destroy Klal Yisrael. He's like a flag. And Hashem is like the mashal. He's like the whistle to them. From the other end of the world. And then they're going to come. The Goyim are going to come to Eretz Yisrael to destroy Klal Yisrael. This is the nevuah of Yeshaya. So he's telling that Hashem is going to, because of all these averis, Hashem is going to welcome the Goyim in, and he's going to wave his flag. They should come. And what's going to happen? Again, they're not going to get tired. They kaishal without stumbling. The enemies, which is referring to Sancheir's army, is not going to sleep, and they're not going to get slumbered. Right? They're not going to get slumbered, not sleep. And they're not going to open up the belt, meaning they're just going to run. And they're not going to even untie their shoelaces, meaning just going to. The way I think Masuda or Dak brings down, it's a guzma. It means to say that. Doesn't mean exactly like this. The concept is that the enemies that come with a passion, and they're just going to destroy. And the shachitza shenunim, and the arrow is going to be sharp. The chol kishasaisa of the ruchais, and their bows are going to be drawn. Or parsei susa of ketzar nachshru v'gagalil of kesusa, and the hooves of the horses are going to be strong like rock, and the chariots are going to go fast like the wind. Okay, so what's the pshat in this? So Rashi in Pasuk Zayin, Rashi says the kayim. It's in the kayim. What they said, they said Hashem, bring on quickly the punishment. So now finally Hashem said, I'll bring on the punishment, and Hashem is going to bring them on, and the enemies that come and is going to go very, very quickly, and that's all these shyness of. They said that if you ask for it, I'll bring it on. So that Hashem is going to bring on the punishment in a very, very fast way. And then the Shaga like Kalavi, Ashur is going to have the Chayis going to Ashur is gonna there's gonna be a war cry. It's like a lion, V'yishay Kavafirim, and they're gonna roar like the young lions. V'yinoim, V'yichsayv, they're gonna growl. V'yichsay Teref, they're gonna grab the prey, which is referring to the Klal Yisrael, V'yitav, and V'ein Matzil, and they're gonna try to save themselves, but they're not gonna be able to because punishment has come. And then Pasuk Lamed, V'yinoim Allah B'yamahu, and then there's gonna have the growls of the attacking army. And it'll be kenamas yam. It'll sound like the rumbling of the waves of the ocean. But nimad la'aretz, and what's going to happen? They're going to look to the aretz. What does that mean, aretz? So it's a few thousand. But the way the Marie Carr learns, it learns that he says they're going to go to Yeshvi aretz. That's referring to Zeh Sheh ben Eila. Sheshalach malachim al sufa al saya melch Mitzrayim. What happened was we had a malachim that when Sanchev came to attack. So then Hashem ben Eila, he went ahead and he sent messages to Saya Melch Mitzrayim. He said, help us out. So that's what's saying. The Navi is saying is you're going to go, when you got attacked, you're going to run for help. You're not going to ask God Hashem. Where are you going to go? You're going to Mitzrayim for help. And it was a time always a time why you going to Mitzrayim. But what the Navi is saying is now that the punishment comes, you're going to Mitzrayim, Hine Chayshech. And what's going to happen? No response. It'll be dark. It can't help you. Hine Chayshech Tzar. There'll be pain of darkness because there won't be a response. And then Va'ar Chashach Va'arifeha. And then the light of the sky be chashach, will be dark, will be gloomy. Meaning you're at a situation that you have no hope. You ask for punishment, Hashem brought punishment, but now you have nowhere to turn because the enemy is attacking. You run to Mitzrayim, you ask for help, they're not helping. And now it's nothing to do. So that's it. Time of destruction has come. So that's the end of the nevuah of Yeshaya in Perek. Hey, tomorrow we start Perek Vav.